Happy New Year and welcome back to Culture Coast. We are kicking off our first episode of 2019 with the moving arts. Our special guest today is Leymis Bolanos Wilmott of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. We're dancing on the Culture Coast right now. Hello again, friends. I'm Kathryn Parks, and this is Culture Coast, brought to you by the Arts and Cultural Alliance of Sarasota County. And huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Elizabeth Van Riper, Realtor with Michael Saunders and Company. Let's jump right into today's show by welcoming Leymis Bolanos Wilmott. Did I say that right?
You did great.
Oh boy. Founder of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Leymis, sorry, this is you. I'm sorry, you must get this all the time.
It's okay.
Okay, Leymis.
Yes, you got it.
Great. Tell me about yourself and your dance history.
Okay, I'm gonna try to be short.
Okay.
So I was born in Hialeah, Dade County in Miami, and Cuban American, and dance has always been part of our culture and what we do as family. I'm one of three sisters, so I always say that they were my performers, and my dad was my first teacher, just because in our families that's what you did. You danced with your dad, your uncle, your cousins, and then all my former training actually came from the public school system. My parents couldn't afford studios, so all my training came from the magnet school, so I absolutely love arts in the schools, arts integration.
Wow.
And then I went off to college, University of Florida. I went to Newell School of the Arts, and then I got my master's from Florida State University in performance and choreography. And while I was there, right after I had graduated, they started a dance outreach program here called FSU Dance Sarasota.
Okay.
And it was part of the Ringling Museum, because FSU, Florida State owns, the Ringling Museum. So it was an outreach program that they started it here, and they asked me to come down and be a dance coordinator for the program and teaching out in the community, in the schools, and building programs and bring in artists. So it was a beautiful way to enter into community, having Florida State funding. It was free offerings that we were giving, and then shortly after I started performing at Arts Day, like back in the days how we used to have Arts Day, and people came up to me like, where are you choreographing? What are you doing? Where can we see you perform? And at that time I was choreographing, but not in Sarasota. And just a lot of people just started asking, and we're like, okay, we're gonna base the company here. I'm originally from Miami, but I was working and living here, and it just happened, totally God divine. It just was like, this is where I'm supposed to plant roots.
That's great, and it's really rooted and sprouted
Yes.
from those roots. And what year did you start sort of all of that?
The company is in its 13th season, but I've been here for about almost 14 years.
Okay, great. So now you recently took a great big step, and you've opened a studio in the Rosemary district. So congratulations. That's really exciting. I mean, that's like big, right?
That's unheard of. I mean, I have friends of mine that have companies in New York and other cities, and even in Miami, and to have your own space, to have your own home, and a full season with 4 productions at Cook Theater, at the J&B Cook Theater, it's just unheard of. So definitely I'm extremely blessed.
Yeah, so tell me about some of the things you want to accomplish from your new studio space and into the future.
Well, like I said earlier, I was not raised in the studio, so I'm not familiar with the studio life. But what I am familiar with is about sharing all the gifts God has given me to the community, to my friends, to family. So I call our studio our home. So I always tell people, you're coming into our home, and how will you greet someone when they come in through their home? So we're being very intentional with our programming. We've noticed that there's a need for adult dance classes. There's great studios out there doing all the youth and kids programming. So we're like, okay, let's focus on that. So adult programming. We have a class called the Red Tent, which is for women 40 and older.
Oh.
And a safe place to explore and dance and just empower each other. And there's live drumming. We've started now a dance fitness class, because a lot of people have been asking around that lunchtime hour in the Rosemary, because there's so much happening on Central and Boulevard Arts now, and also adult contemporary dance classes. We have urban dance as well, and we do have 2 classes for kids. But like I said, we're just also at a point that we're still listening to what the community wants,
right?
And we're open to that. We also have a African dance diaspora class on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And we have an all levels contemporary dance class as well on Saturdays. So, you know, we started slowly in the fall. We've added a little bit more classes now in the spring, and we are still wanting to hear from the community. Like, okay, have you tried this? Have you not? So I'm open. I want to be a service. You know,
wonderful. So I'm assuming if someone wants to find out more about one of these classes, they can go to SarasotaContemporaryDance.org.
Yes, we have our full class schedule there, and you can sign up even online.
Yeah, and that's very exciting. And as an adult who has done dance in my life, I can tell you it can be very scary to like get out and do a dance class because that fear that you're going to just make a fool of yourself, you know, but to have that support that you can play and dance and be who you want to be is everything.
Yeah, and like I said, we're being intentional, and we are wanting to create a safe place where people can come and experience the joy of dance, but also be challenged and encouraged and build community.
Yeah, that's lovely. So tell me now that we've talked all about dance, what is your favorite non-dance related activity in Sarasota?
Spending time with my family. Just because I have a 2-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, and my husband is really gracious. As any artist knows, you have to have that partner that supports you in all areas. So I feel like just being with my family, doing outdoor activities. We do love to attend as a family the West Coast Black Theater Troupe and their programming. The Selby Gardens is also a wonderful place for us to go as a family. And we've been doing recently play dates at the Circus Park and Bendelson Park as well. So those are activities I absolutely love to do, but it's really spending time with my family. Not my dance family, my home family.
There's got to be a balance,
yes,
for certain. And then you have a production, Dance Makers, which is opening tonight.
It is opening tonight, and you get to see me on the dance stage performing. I haven't performed in 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
So Dance Makers is a program that we started because after a while, after about 5-6 years into having this company and having to produce show after show was really exhausting and not being authentic if I'm really gonna get into my creative process. So we started adding this program that we bring in nationally known choreographers that are currently choreographing. And we have Ana Maria Alvarez from LA with her company is called Contratiempo, which means against time, and setting a work that has a lot of movement from the African diaspora. It does have also a political, social kind of undertone. We brought in Katiti King from New York. We brought in Kwesi Johnson from the UK. We brought Kira Blazik that's doing a piece called Keep It Together, and it's with women trying to keep it together with her heels on. And so it's really an exciting program. I also worked with a choreographer from New York, collaborative, and setting a solo on me called #FollowingFamousLeymis.
I love anything that rhymes and anything that has alliteration, and I love that.
So it's really, I feel like if you come, and I've said this before, when you come to our programs, you get really a breath of the landscape of what contemporary dance can be. And hopefully people will continue to come and see then our May show, because our last production of the season is in May.
Well, it was great getting to know you better, Leymis, and thank you for being on Culture Coast.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. And that is it for our show today. We would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Elizabeth Van Riper with Michael Saunders and Company. Elizabeth enriches the real estate experience of her customers and her extensive market knowledge and involvement with Sarasota's diverse cultural landscape. We'd also like to thank Beautiful You Boutique for my awesome wardrobe and iStage Homes for our very stylish set. Our next show is Thursday, February 21st, and we'll be chatting with our presenting sponsor, Elizabeth Van Riper, about many things art and Sarasota. See you then.